What's happening, everybody? I hope you're doing well. I just got back to the States. I got done installing a bunch of medium voltage motors at a very large hot strip mill overseas. So I have a little bit of time back home. Unfortunately, my wife and my son aren't home yet. So dad is kind of empty nesting here until until around 5:30. So I'm a little bored. And I noticed Eli, who I haven't watched in a while, has got a new video. So I figured I'd check out what he's got to say.
Yeah. All right. We
I got
are
him speed
live
up.
on YouTube. How's everyone doing
I
today?
always love that selfie
How's
stick
it going?
shadow.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Uh-oh, he's rolled up.
Some people just can't stop. They just can't stop. They
Can't
can't
stop,
stop the
won't
nonsense. They
stop.
just can't stop it.
What are you upset
People
about?
try to say, Eli, you have no other content besides drama. Eli, you're a fake life coach. Eli, you have not experienced shit in life. Eli, you haven't done this. You haven't done that. If I had just a penny every time I heard that from a bunch of miserable fucking clowns out here on YouTube, I'd be a billionaire.
Eli, do you realize that means you have heard the same thing 100 billion times? Like, even if that took you 2 seconds to hear that, you're talking about decades. I know you're trying to use hyperbole, but like, come on, dude.
Because the truth of the matter is, half the people in this world and half the people on YouTube are miserable clowns. And
Life coach, life coach, just telling the world half of you are just miserable clowns. You're miserable clowns.
they could better their lives and become better people. But the way that they make themselves feel worthy is by kicking down other people that they feel are better than them, right? It's pretty
Mm,
sad and pathetic as fuck. It really is.
he is riled
And
up.
unfortunately today, I have to call out this woman named Tiffany.
Uh-oh, it's a woman. The one thing I've noticed with Eli's stuff is, like, he doesn't like it when um, people question what he does and his decisions that he makes and how he treats people. But he seems to really hold a tremendous amount of vitriol to any woman that says anything to him that he doesn't agree with. It's where he really reminds me of Patrick Tomlinson, where Patrick Tomlinson's the same way, where Leslie Varney has like done nothing to him, and Patrick Tomlinson has dedicated like the last year and a half of his life trying to destroy that poor woman simply because he started tweeting at her and she didn't know what was going on.
I didn't want to talk about this. I didn't want to stoop back down to doing some drama, but it is what it is. And again, I'm not even going to.
This is the other thing I love. The guy's a life coach. He's supposed to give you advice on how to change your life. Yet somehow he has zero autonomy. He can't control his own decision making. Others control him.
Consider this drama. I'm just calling her out because I'm done with her BS. I'm done with her manipulation. I'm done with her games.
Manipulate.
Oh yes, again, Queen, how you doing? Welcome to the show. No, it's just Tiffany. It's just
I,
Tiffany. It has nothing to do
I
with
have
that
no
Legion group.
idea who
They've been
Tiffany
staying out of this.
is.
They've been doing great. I'm actually very proud of the Legion. I am.
I don't know who
I'm
the
proud.
Legion are.
Honestly,
I'm
I gotta
assuming
say this.
Legion is more than one person.
This doesn't take away from the past, but I gotta say this. I'm actually very proud of the direction Jamie is heading and
Okay, maybe it's one
where the
person.
Legion
I
is
don't
heading.
know. Okay, maybe it's
They've
more
been
than
staying
one
out of it
person.
for the most part. A few of them will make community postings or do streams on topics that I discuss. They won't mention me, but they'll discuss those topics because they want to share their thoughts on those topics. So in a way, they're still watching me, but they're really not mentioning me. How you doing, Buy Your Repair guy, Raleigh? I support Eli. Thank you, Raleigh. We support you too. I've seen all your
By the way, if anyone's wondering, I haven't sped up like 1.5. So he doesn't normally speak this fast.
comments lately. They're pretty funny in the comment section. But anyway, I'm only going to do 2 laps today because I got to run a few errands at a few places that close at 9 p.m. Pacific time, that is. And right now it's around 7:20.
A lot of the guys that I try to help out, like the veterans that I volunteer with that are really struggling to get their life together, post-military. It's one of the things that we really struggle with when we get out. When you go into the military, there's a team of people screaming at you using very colorful language, telling you exactly what to do at every step of the way. And then when you get out, you don't have that anymore. You got nobody telling you what to do. And consistently with the guys that I find struggling, they kind of do the same thing what Eli's describing, where it's like you wait till the last second, wait till the last second. And then what invariably ends up happening is they're setting themselves up for failure. They fail, and then it's not their problem, it's society's problem, and so on, da 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 da. And it just reinforces what they want to hear, which is like, it's why even bother? Now, in Eli's case, I'm not necessarily saying that's what he's dealing with, but it does seem to have some very very close parallels to what I have to kind of deal with. It's like, why are you waiting until the last second to get these things done? Like, what have you been doing all day? You're unemployed. Like, why wait that late, kind of thing.
Pacific time. So, yeah, I wasn't going to do this stream, but when Tiffany low blow attacked my girlfriend Dawn, I said, you know what, that's it. Come at me, that's one thing, but you start talking about my woman, Tiff, and again, it's gloves off. You asked for it. You actually like this, Tiff. I think you actually like the attention. I think you like messing with men. I think you think, Tiffany, that you're some incredibly manipulative control freak as a woman, which you are. But the thing is, there are men that are too smart to fall for that bullshit, and I'm one of them.
This is a very very common thing that a lot of the individuals do that I'm trying to help out. This comes up pretty much in every single intervention that I've ever been a part of, where it's the go on the attack kind of thing. If they'll say and do whatever that is necessary to derail what the other person is saying, to diffuse what we're trying to do, to illegitimize other people's concerns, and so on. Again, I don't know who this Tiffany woman is. Chances are she made a video talking about the same thing that a lot of people do, which is like Dawn's at the end of her life due to extreme alcoholism. She's to the stage that I've seen it so many times where I think Dawn's to the point where she's already shortened her life significantly. And the question really becomes, how does she want to go? Does she want to go in a haze, in a lot of physical and a mental and emotional pain? Or does she want to try to go where she can reestablish contact with her family and make lifestyle changes to try to extend her life? I just, sadly, I don't think she'll ever be able to live a normal lifespan. I think that her drinking is that severe. This is a woman that's apparently having regular seizures, almost daily seizures, which, as somebody that ended up in the emergency room with a seizure when I tried to tape her before I got sober, I can't imagine going through with that on a regular basis. I really can't. Now, I will say this, Dawn is making these decisions. Eli's not forcing her to drink. Eli's not forcing her to live with him. Eli's not forcing her to choose him over her family. She is making those decisions. At the end of the day, it's a very, very unhealthy, dysfunctional, toxic relationship. At least that's how it appears on the outside. Now, I'm sure Eli views this as me attacking him and attacking Dawn. I can't control how Eli takes my observations. It is what it is.
And I honestly think the man that you're living with, technically considered your boyfriend, I think he knows your games too, but he doesn't have the heart to kick your ass out.
Again, this is the kind of stuff that people say at interventions to try to derail them. I've lost track of the number of guys that have told me that my face is messed up because I'm missing an ear. I have a severe scarring to my face, to my neck. I'm missing fingers from the IED explosion and stuff. I've had people call me Lurch because I'm so tall and big. I've had all kinds of hateful things said to me at these interventions. I've had guys threaten to kick my ass. And it's like, I just look at them. It's like, come on, man. I'm a third taller than you. I could bench press you easily. With you fighting against me, I could lift you over my head easily. We're not going to have a fist fight. We're going to sit here. I'm going to tell you what opportunities there are for you, if you're willing to take them, to try to get your life together. If you're not willing to do that, all I'm telling you is we're done. We're done. I have a lot of people that I need to invest my time with, and I'm not going to invest my time with somebody that is seeking validation and acceptance of destructive behaviors. This is what Eli's trying to do. He's trying to get a response out of this woman as a way to try to delegitimize probably what are her concerns about the health of Dawn and the path that Eli's on.
But that's not my place. I'm not here to talk about that. Here's the thing, Tiff. I'm
You are there to talk about that. You're the one that brought that up. You can't. This is a thing that this guy does that a lot of the manipulative, destructive people do, where it's like, no offense, and then they proceed to say the most offensive thing possible. It's like the joke where somebody says, I'm not racist, and then they proceed to list off the 14 words. It's like, well, no, that's really racist. Like, you can't. It's not a get out of jail free card kind of thing. You can't say like no offense and then proceed to say the most offensive stuff possible. That's but this is what he's trying to do. He's trying to get a rise out of this woman to kind of distract from the fact that people have legitimate concerns about Dawn and about Eli. Like Eli might not realize this, but I think a lot of people, like the reasons that they look at Eli and they point out the weird things that he does and how destructive his life is, it's not necessarily just a laugh at him. It's more of like a train wreck kind of thing. Like, holy hell.
not going to attack you on things I know to be true about you and your living situation and your personal life. I'm just going to respond to what you attacked me on, what you attacked Dawn on. You talked about Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about alcohol. We've talked about this many times in the past. Actually, everything that you talked about, Tiff, is something we've talked about many times in the past.
Eli has made a lot of videos where he basically implies that Dawn has a seizure disorder, and there's a lot of red flags. Like the regular seizures without any reason for them, other than the fact that like she drinks on her streams, I believe. The fact that she had a foot injury that took forever to heal. Um, that's one of the things that happens to us alcoholics. It starts taking longer and longer for wounds to heal. It's kind of the same way where we could start retaining fluid. We could start really struggling to keep down food and stuff. Um, Dying of alcoholism is just simply not a pleasant way to go. And unless you die in like a car accident or something, it's not a good way. It's really not a good way. And based on what Eli has shared about, because Eli overshares everything, he just does. It's really really crazy how he does that. But chances are, Dawn and her doctor are kind of come to terms with the fact that Dawn is dying, and I think the doctors are trying to make it as painless as possible. It is for Dawn, but Dawn is probably in a situation where she's consistently in a either she's brutally hungover or she's fallen over drunk or she's passed out. It's a brutal way to live. It's a really bad way to live, and it's horrible. And the medical her doctors and all are probably trying to make it as easy as possible on her, while at the same time minimizing the amount of financial cost it is to the state of California.
Attention retirees, if you're willing to be at your computer from 9
Hello,
Sorry
Caroline.
about
How you
that.
doing? Hey, Easy
Eli
Prod.
shoves
How's
as
it going?
many commercials as possible into his
So, yeah,
damn
everything you're talking about, Tiffany,
videos.
is not new. You're regurgitating the same shit over and over and over and over again. You know why? Because you're getting paid by Silicon J.O., and you have to do it. Doing streams on me quite regularly.
I have no idea who this Silicon J.O. person is. Um, no idea. No earthly idea. But apparently this is a common theme with Eli, where um, anybody that shows any kind of concern for Dawn and himself, or anybody that mocks him online, anybody that points out that like you shouldn't really get pay for life coaching advice from a guy that is unemployed, lives at home, hasn't had a job in forever, kind of thing. It's somehow this large conspiracy involving some financial backer. Like this is effectively the Rothschild International conspiracy made so much dumber.
You've turned your entire Tiff channel into a Coach Eli hate channel. So I'm like, okay, hey, I ignored this. I ignored this. I was going to continue ignoring it. But if you're going to come at my woman, that's the final straw. Anyone comes
I have a feeling though, like Eli must recognize that no one really follows his content unless he makes goofy videos like this. Like I'm feeding the beast, if you will. I just am. Like he's eventually gonna find this video and just start rambling off that I'm like some entitled millennial, that I'm a white knighter, um, simply because I point out that he's in a really, really unhealthy relationship and that he needs to go to therapy. And, somehow that makes me a white knighter.
at my woman, I will defend her honor and mine. But the bottom line regarding what this all boils down to, Tiffany,
What is it boiling
is
down
you're
to?
getting paid by Silicone J.O. You sold out.
Yeah,
You
that's
sold
what I'm
your
talking
fucking
about.
soul to the devil. You sold out for
weird
a paycheck, right?
conspiracy.
You sold out and have been accepting payment to attack myself and my girlfriend Dawn, who's been through some things. You don't give a shit about Dawn at all. You don't. You don't care about Dawn, Tiff. Quit pretending like you care about Dawn. All you care about is making money at our fucking expense. And then you try to flip it and say, I'm trying to use Dawn to make money. No. Dawn helps me run the channels here.
Eli does this really screwed up thing where he has like these members only channel or members only like video things where he has him and Dawn on the couch. Now I refuse to give somebody like Eli any money. So I've never really seen it firsthand. Excuse me. Excuse me. But I have seen it or I've heard enough about it where it's where Dawn is like drinking alcohol the entire time. Apparently, it sounds like a use me only blade stream.
And Dawn is in a situation that's out of her control. I'm going to explain more about that in a bit. Now, here's the thing, Tiff. You cherry pick through my streams. You cherry pick through the streams. You don't listen to everything. That's why you don't know the actual answer. So you
all
make
your
things up
streams are
because
exactly the same.
you have to run a show to keep getting your payment from Silicone J.O. You can deny all you want and say you're not getting paid by Silicone J.O. But even the expose show you're supposed to do with me regarding Silicone J.O. many weeks ago before the falling out we had, Tiff. You tried to ambush me with JB Gunner and you never ever called out Silicone J.O. Why? Because you're getting paid. When Silicone J.O.
I have no idea who any of these people are.
knew you were going to expose him, he offered you more money. An amount of money that you couldn't refuse. An amount of money you couldn't refuse, Tiff. You took the money.
I would
Your
love it
shows
if I could get paid
sound
to
so
make
fucking
fun of
fake.
this guy online.
They sound so scripted. They sound like you're forced to do them. I'm
Eli,
Ron
when
Real,
everyone
I'm going
tells you your
on the fly,
girlfriend is
taking
a
a fucking
drunk,
walk
that doesn't mean
at
that
my
it's
park
scripted.
with no script, just a selfie stick and a camera and a big-ass furry ball mic with great quality. At least my audio is good.
You just go around town and just harass random people that are trying to use the park.
So make fun of my damn mic all you want. It works. It sounds great. But I'm sitting here, raw, real, live on the fly. And I'm not sitting down on my chair like you are, sitting down your ass, using your smartphone, and not even showing your face. I show my face every damn day.
This is a common thing, like somebody like this Coach Eli guy and like Patrick Tomlinson and a lot of people that have just destroyed any attempt that they have at anonymity and put everything out online. The fact that the fact that you're dumb enough to do this and other people are smart enough not to do this in no way, shape, or form invalidates their opinions about you. like, like, if I were to show my face, that would not suddenly make it so that your girlfriend Dawn isn't dying of alcoholism on your mother's couch.
Now, yes, I am on my smartphone right now because I'm on mobile. I'm walking, and that's the only way to broadcast when you're on mobile. But when I'm at home, I've got a laptop. Now, you said, oh, maybe I should repair my laptop so I can show actual clips. Maybe you should, right? Before you start criticizing people, Tiff, get your shit together first. There's a lot you need to get together, but I'm not going to call you on all your stuff because I really don't care. And I'm not going to go tit for tat. I'm not.
He really sounds
I'm just going
like
to
he
respond
doesn't
to the
care.
BS that you said
You're not going to care for
and prove to people that
Oh my
you
God,
pretty
an
much just
hour long?
amp things up because you're getting paid by Silicone
an hour
J.O.
long of not caring.
And if you want to call this a drama stream, call it a drama stream. If you want to say that my channel's dying without drama, say what you got to say. The thing is, if all of you stop talking about the nonsense regarding myself and Don, our regular shows would get more views than all yours. You guys are
It's not Come on, dude. You can't honestly believe that. Like, I have tried to watch his like streams where he doesn't mention his trolls. And this is always so funny to me because one of his things is he tries to strike channels that uses his content. Like if he ever finds my channel, he's going to strike my channel. I know he's going to because he's an idiot. He doesn't understand what fair use is. But his content just consists of him reading Reddit posts to you and then reading the comments and then just saying something like, "Oh, that's crazy," or "Oh, that's a good comment." No, no, no. It's like it is the lowest effort content on the planet, which is why nobody watches this stuff. The only thing people like to watch is when he's spurring out like this.
Still trying to capitalize off of Coach Eli and Don. And I won't let that happen ever again.
Never again.
Because if you keep on going, Tiff, I'm going to keep on going until you stop. I'm going to wear your ass out. You want to call me little man? Again, I'll show you how little man I am. I'd probably lose my channel for that. But you know what? You're not even fucking worth losing my channel over to prove to you. I don't have shit to prove to you.
Wait, that whole threat makes no sense whatsoever. You're going to wear her out. You're going to say a bunch of stuff to her, but you'll lose your channel, so you're not going to do it because she's not worth it. Then what was the whole point of that sentence? I have to say, I deal with a lot of veterans at their worst time. And I have had guys that were so goddamn drunk that I felt like I was getting a buzz just talking to them from across the room. And those guys were more coherent than what he just said. Like, dude, calm down and just think about what you're saying.
But you ever have a chance to talk to Don, which Don will never talk with you because Don is disgusted with your actions and your
I
behavior.
don't think Dawn at this point in her
Selling out
alcoholism can make
the Silicon
emotional
JO,
states.
selling out for a paycheck to attack us and then pretend like you give a shit about her. You're despicable. You're the most despicable person I've ever come across this platform.
Really, she's whoever this woman is the most despicable person on YouTube. How have you never heard of Nick Bates or any number of the creepos and the weirdos and stuff? I guarantee you, whoever this woman is has to deal with way weirder people in her comments. Like if she's just a woman online, like that's the worst person you've ever dealt with. What on earth could her stream of possibly be like?
And I'm sure many people agree with that. Despicable.
Despicable.
Tiffany is trying to impress the pork shop. No, they're not. The Legion doesn't. They don't like her, dude. Dude, listen, ODN. Respectfully speaking, dude, you don't know everything. They don't like her. They don't like Tiffany. She's getting paid by Silicon JO.
I'm not sure if this is just an issue with the closed captioning. For anyone wondering, I have headphones on, but I don't have my hearing aids in, so I have the volume turned up like super high. But even then, I'm not actually sure what he's saying, and I'm just reading the text to speech, so I'm not sure what pork chop is a reference to. I don't get what any of these references are really when it comes to his enemies.
There's no way someone would dedicate every single one of their last 10 pieces of content over the last week and a half or two on me. There's no way they would dedicate that amount of time when my content bores them unless somebody's paying them. Silicon JO is paying Tiffany.
I would really love to know.
Let me tell you something, Tiff. You're a horrible actress.
I was going to say, I would really love to know what the backstory is with this Silicon JO, but chances are, no, it's really stupid. It's not going to have the payoff that I think it will. It'll probably be like some random woman that Eli tried to sneak into the DMs and she said no, and then it's turned into this big conspiracy theory of like his whole spurned outlook on life.
Can't even play the part. Now here's the thing. You guys call me a woman hater. I'm not a woman hater. I love women, but there are a lot of things that I picked up about women.
I'm sure.
Right? And women don't like the fact that I pick up on their games and their tells, right?
I think they don't like you because you look like a creep who walks around in public with what looks like a rat anus attached to your face, and you got a selfie stick, and you're waddling like you got a dildo up your ass. I mean, I'm just saying, like, you look like a weirdo. That, and you also love to use misogynistic, hateful language towards women. I think that's a strong number 2 there.
The thing. The one thing I know about women is they're horrible liars because women do not feel right lying. You ladies try to lie. You try to lie, Tiff.
Women don't feel like, what? Women are horrible liars because women across the board don't like to lie. They're okay.
But when you ladies lie, You giggle. You just like, right? You sit there and you try to talk about me in negative ways, and you can't even keep a straight fucking face, and you're not even on camera.
I think she was probably laughing at you. That's just my conclusion.
Like you're audio only, and you still can't keep a straight face. You're all giggling and shit. It's telling me you're lying. It's telling me that you're forced. You feel forced to do this for a paycheck.
For a
Yeah, you want to
paycheck.
criticize how I make my money, or you want to criticize me and say, I don't have any money and I live off my mother and I don't have any bills. You have no clue what my bills are.
I would love to know what your bills are. By bills, you mean
So where do
allowance
I
from your
start?
mother, right?
Where do I start? It's the same old thing. My audience has heard this many times. Let's start from the very beginning again. Okay? Dawn and I, we share a house with my mother. We don't necessarily live with my mother. Yes, it's the same house. It's a 3-story house. We live in the in-law unit on the bottom floor.
Eli, you're still in your 50s, man. And you brought a woman in her 40s to die on your mother's couch in that in-law unit. I mean, it's not even so much as failure to launch. That's like blowing up on the launch pad, brother.
And no, Tiff Tiff, it is not 500 square feet. It is 2,000 square feet. Our in-law unit is pretty damn big. It's a pretty damn good value for what we pay. And yes, we do pay the mortgage there.
Why does this house still have a mortgage, Eli? I thought your dad built this house like in the 70s or the 80s. I'm convinced that I've heard him say that his dad built this house a long time ago. So how on earth do you still have a mortgage to pay? Like, what does your dad get? A 40-year mortgage? That makes no sense. So that means like one of three things. One, the mortgage is paid off and you're just full of shit. You're not giving your mother really any kind of money, and you're basically the three of you knuckleheads are living off of her Social Security insurance. Two, there is a mortgage. And Mama Eli has a second or third mortgage that she probably had to take out to pay for your ass. And Eli, you're in for a rude awakening when, unfortunately, your mother passes away and you try to accept that property from her because the bank's going to come collecting. Or three, maybe your mom did a reverse mortgage on the house to, again, pay for herself and to pay for you and the drunk that you moved into her house. But that only really works if you don't understand what a reverse mortgage is. And now that I'm saying that out loud, there's a very good chance that is actually the case. Like, I'm sorry, Eli, I don't see how your house could possibly have still a mortgage on it. Because that house has been in your family for at least 30 plus years. So what kind of mortgage is it?
It's 2,000 square feet for the same price as I was paying for a one-bedroom apartment many years before I moved back in there, before I met Dawn.
Good old San Francisco.
I moved back in there because
prices.
I needed more space to run my YouTube stuff. And I figured it's private on the third floor, has its own entrance on the outside. It's 2,000 square feet for the same amount of money I was paying.
That was on the ground floor. Did I remember that wrong? I thought the bachelor unit, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
For a 750, I think was it 750 square feet? I think that's what my last apartment was. Same amount of money. And then guess what? It goes into my family's estate instead of throwing away your money renting an apartment. That goes to somebody else. Whatever I pay into the estate of my family is being reinvested into the family. That includes me. It's a smart fucking move, Tiff. So you got that wrong. You were talking about the fact that you're a vacuum W, right? I can't say that word on the monetized channel. I'm not going to say that. You say you're a vacuum W, you know, the word they call a woman that sleeps around with a bunch of guys. But you're saying you're a vacuum W, right? You buy vacuums like they're out of style. First of all, no, I'm not going to question.
What the hell? Vacuum woman, but it has, I guess vacuum whore? Okay.
How you get those vacuums or where you get the money. Because I'm not going to do the same thing to you that you're doing to me. I already know the answers to those questions. You do too. So we don't have to go there, Tiffy. Okay?
Is he implying that that she sleeps around to get money for vacuum cleaners? What the heck is this?
We don't have to go there, right? And you know it's been hot out here. That's why I've been breathing a little bit harder. It's been hot. I've been working hard. And yes, I've been vacuuming and deep cleaning, which is why I'm tired. And you got it wrong regarding the Bissells. I have 2 Bissells. Yes, the Bissell Crosswave Hydro Steam is light. It's about 20 pounds. And it is easier to use. And it is the pet version, like you say you have. But I also, last year, purchased the bigger upright Bissell, the Pet Hydro Steam Deep Cleaner, for deep plush carpets, because we have a 2,000 square foot place we rent. And we have hardwood floors, but I also have 2 very large, deep, plushy area rugs that the Crosswave, the smaller one, doesn't work on. The Crosswave, the smaller one that does tiles and floors, will do the low pile carpet, meaning not the deep plushy one, right? But for the deep plushy one, these are big pieces of carpet that take a lot of work to clean every now and then with the bigger, heavier Bissell Pet Hydro Steam.
I don't think I've ever seen a grown man get into an argument with somebody about their level of knowledge about vacuum cleaners in person or on social media or on YouTube or anything like that. This is something to take in. Now, again, I'm kind of trying to do like a Columbo thing, try to figure out what the hell what is the purpose or what fed this whole argument. And I believe that Dawn has small yappy dogs. And I know that Eli hates dogs. I think he hates animals because apparently one of the dogs like just bit him in the face or something. Like the dogs freak out whenever Eli's around. So like he does these long walks all the time, but he never has the dogs with him. He'd rather let the dogs shit and piss in his mother's house because again, it's not his house. He doesn't care. And I'm assuming that this woman made some comment about the dogs shitting and pissing all over the house and how, like, Eli should, I don't know, act like an adult and take the dogs out on a regular basis. Because, again, Eli doesn't do anything all day long. He's unemployed. Like, this isn't where, like, Eli's doing, like, a 8-hour shift at the hot strip mill down the road for California Steel, you know? Like he's just at home all the time, doing these live streams, arguing with people and stuff. But Eli's living the life that has me terrified as a parent. My son's 10 years old. And what my wife and I are going to do as my son gets older, when he turns 14, I've already talked to my wife about this. And I've told her we're going to sit the boy down. And I'm going to ask him, what are you doing with your life, boy? Because come 18, I don't need you in my house. I'm not required to have you in my house. You are going to have a plan to get out of my house. And I can kick you out of this house at 18. Now, of course, my wife doesn't love this, or doesn't like this at all. My wife always views our son as her beautiful baby boy, and so on. This is a hard conversation for my wife. And I'm not actually, like, I'm playing it up as to what I'm going to actually say or whatever. In reality, I want to hear from my son what he plans on doing with his life. Whether it's go to college, go into the trades, God forbid, follow his idiot old man going to the military. Like, I want him to start thinking about his life come 14. He doesn't need to give me an answer, but I want him to start thinking about this. What I don't want to happen is 2 things. One, at 18, I have no idea. Or I'm going to go to college, and it's like, for what? I don't know. I'll figure it out once you're spending $160,000 a year or whatever college will cost by then. Or, and this is the one that really terrifies me, he's going to be like, I'm going to be like this Coach Eli guy. And that's when I'm going to look at my wife, and we're both going to have a nodding agreement where we both recognize that we failed our boy, and we're probably just going to murder suicide the entire family. I'm kidding, of course. But it's one of those things that I am absolutely terrified that my son, because of social media and all this crap, there's a lot of people that think that they're going to be the next, what is it, Mr. Big, not Mr. Big. Who's the guy that builds houses in Thailand? Mr. Beast. And the chances of you being Mr. Beast is the same as you winning the Mega Millions. Most of you are going to end up like Eli. Broke, destitute, living with your parents in your 50s with no hope in life other than arguing, or like nothing to do in life other than arguing with random people online.
Revolution Pet Hydro Steam. Model number 3424, Tiff.
Oh God, who
And then the
cares?
other
It's
one,
a vacuum cleaner.
the Crosswave, the lighter one, is model number 3515. Look them up. I'm going live on the fly, and I got my shit down.
Imagine ever being at some point in your life that you memorize the numbers, the serial numbers of a vacuum cleaner, just so you could own some random woman that you've never seen before in real life. Like, Eli, this is all just a projection and a distraction, probably from her saying, "Hey, Dawn's dying. What are you doing? Why don't you get your life together? Why don't you go to therapy or something?" Like, come on, man. This is all just a way of you trying to distract from the fact that you are living a life in which you're really unhappy where you're at. You have no way of improving your lot in life. You're really miserable, and so your answer is to just attack random people online that happen to notice you. You put on this bullshit face about how, oh, they're jealous of me. Who could possibly be jealous of you, Eli? Who? Who? About what? I always ask the guys that I try to help out as a volunteer, where do you see yourself in 1, 5, and 10 years? And then I ask him, where do you want to be in 1, 5, and 10 years? I don't know what Eli would respond to me. I have a feeling that Eli's response to me, if me and him were having a conversation in a public place where I was trying to help him out, I'm pretty certain that Eli would do what a lot of the guys do, that their lives are complete wrecks. They go on the attack on me. They want to kill it. They don't want to think about what they've done, where they're at, and how they have to go through some hard things and address some hard things to try to make their life better. I legitimately believe that Eli has some real issues from the death of his father. I think Eli has some real issues from when he got fired by some random millennial kid while he was working a big box retail job. I have a feeling that Eli has some real issues about women and stuff that he should be working with a therapist to try to figure out. What he shouldn't be doing is broadcasting this online to the entire world and then flipping out anytime somebody like points out the fact that, hey man, you were really kind of messed up. You should not be trying to sell people life coaching plans. Like, Eli, I would probably rather trust you to start up a nuclear reactor than I would to give me life advice about anything. I wouldn't even trust you to give me advice about insurance. And you love to bring up the fact that for some reason you still have a license to sell insurance in the state of California, only you don't do it. You don't use it in any way, shape, or form to bring money into your household. It's depressing. I feel bad for Eli, I feel bad for Dawn, and I feel bad for Eli's mother. But at the end of the day, all three of them have played a role in creating this absolute shit show of a life that for some reason this guy is addicted to broadcasting to the world. I have to say that this guy is probably worse than Patrick Tomlinson, which really blows my mind. Now, Eli, if you try to take down my video, if you've made it this far, if you try to take down my video, I would highly recommend that you read up on Patrick Tomlinson, specifically on the lawsuits, or the lawsuit that he unleashed on the Opus and Anthony Forum, which was a website making fun of him. He lost that lawsuit. He's trying to do the same thing you were doing, where he was abusing copyright and shit. He tried to sue to get people's identity and all that jazz. And he lost. He lost bigly. He ended up getting penalties for wasting everybody's time. He got hit with anti-slap penalties, where what ended up happening was he wasted a lot of people's money, and then he had to pay for it. And then he doubled down and he refused to pay until eventually he had to. Otherwise, he was probably going to lose his house. So if you think about striking my channel, I really recommend you don't do that, dumbass. But ultimately, I can't control your behavior. No one can. If they could, you would probably be much further along in life and much more successful. Go to therapy, dumbass. Everybody else, I hope you have a good one. I'm out.